Hello, I am a songwriter from Ireland and I've decided to upload these quick little videos every time I feel inspired. So today I am inspired by the Beatles. I'm always inspired by the Beatles, but today I was watching a documentary about the making of Rubber Soul. And when I am looking for inspiration, I like to deconstruct or reverse engineer songs that I love to try and figure out how they work or why they work. And there was a moment in this documentary when Paul McCartney was talking about how he wrote "You Won't See Me," and he basically said he wrote the whole song using just two notes, which sounds so clickbaity. So here we are. But I thought I'd try to figure out what he was talking about and try to reverse engineer how he came up with the song, and I uncovered some more Paul McCartney genius in that process, so I thought I'd share it. So he said, normally I write on a guitar and have full chords, like cowboy chords. But this was written around two little notes, a very slim phrase, a two-note progression that I had very high on the first two strings of the guitar, the E and the B strings. I had a note high on the E string, and I just let another note on the B string descend a semitone at a time and kept the top note the same. Against it, I was playing a descending chromatic pattern. So I think this was the foundation of the song. I think Paul McCartney was probably in his hotel room just jamming along with this. But this is the genius of Paul McCartney. So there's not a lot of harmonic information here. We have this descending pattern. It's descending dyads. A dyad is a chord just made up of two notes. And a dyad doesn't really give us a lot of information, because a dyad, that could be anything. That could be part of an F major 7. It could be part of an A minor, A major. So it's ambiguous. And ambiguity is often very good. But what Paul McCartney decides to do is he decides to fill out this descending pattern with the melody to create interesting harmony. So what he does is, most songwriters, I think, would just start singing the descending pattern, but he creates his own universe outside of the descending pattern. So the melody doesn't touch this at all. The melody goes, when I call you up, your lines engage. I have had enough. So at your age, I'll stop there for now. He sings it up an octave higher, but I'm not Paul McCartney, so bear with me. So what he's doing there is he's completing the dyads with the melody to create triads. So it starts out, when I call, which becomes the major third to complete the dyad. So it creates an A major chord. The dyad is the root on top, the fifth in between, and then the melody is the major third. When I call you up. So that's the next important melody note, which is, and the descending pattern moves down the dyad to create this triad, which is quite dissonant. In reality, this is actually part of a B7 chord, which is like a legendary Beatles chord. There's a funny story. I think Paul and John, when they were younger, they had heard of this magical, mystical, mysterious B7 chord, and they knew that there was a guy across town that knew how to play the B7 chord. So they caught a bus across town and tracked him down, and he unlocked the mysteries of the universe through the power of the B7 chord, which they have used to great effect ever since, including in this song right now, or right here. So the 7 of the B7 is on top, and the third in the middle, and then the melody note is the root, the B. So far we have when I aim to B7. The next melody note is an F sharp, and the descending dyad is a D with a fifth, and the F sharp is the major third of a D with a fifth, which is a D major chord, which I'll play up here. This is why it's useful to know your triads all over the neck, because this is kind of where it's voiced in the song. So this is the fifth, the major third, and the root on the bottom. So our progression has gone from A to B7 to D to A7. Now we go down to D minor, back to A. And then we go to B7 again. And you won't see me, you won't see me. It's amazing, like every single melody note is added, is adding to the descending pattern, and creating this really lush, complex harmony from such a basic starting point. And I think that is why the song is so special. I don't know, I found that very inspiring. I was kind of stuck in a rut with my songwriting, and now I have an afternoon to myself. I'm going to see what I can come up with. So I hope this helps. And if you liked it, I'm going to make more of these. So stick around and subscribe and all that nonsense.